number one spot right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the EXN. I'm looking at the EXN.
EXN's a nice wheel.
Yeah, because it's a wheel that went under the radar. It went
Big
under
time.
the radar, yeah, because like Cobra was saying, it never was meant to make it. Because what was supposed to make it was the EX. But then, the engineers were like, I read it on Ewheels. They were like, whoa, if we take off the weight, this thing is going to lose like a dozen pounds. And then, the speed is going to be there. The range is going to be there. I mean, I think it's like 2,700 watt hours. That's plenty for me, to be honest.
Oh, that's more than enough. That's more than enough battery.
And one thing I hate about these new wheels, and I will say this, tell me what you guys hate about these new wheels. We've all heard what they love. What do you hate about these new wheels? What I hate about these new wheels, based on the topic, is acceleration, maneuverability, braking, right? And wobbles. So one thing I hate about these new wheels is how heavy they are, because EUC is all about portability, dude. And they just threw that out the window. But that's okay. It's still portable. It's just, I feel it's just thrown out the window. Mostly because of battery technology. It hasn't caught up with that yet. So whatever. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. A lot of these, they're definitely not portable at all. And don't let anybody tell you weight is weight. It's like the old saying, what weighs more, a pound of steel or a pound of feathers? No, you know what I mean? A pound is a pound. So a 77-pound wheel, an 80-pound wheel, 95 pounds, you're going to feel the weight in braking, maneuverability, and you have to take that all into consideration, especially if you're riding in traffic. I experienced that when I rode the Sherman last weekend. Even compared to riding my RS, I was like, wow, you got to give yourself some time to stop. You got to give yourself some time to stop, or you're going to plow into something.
Absolutely. Let me read some of the comments here real quick. I have a video I have ready for you guys because it's going to 2 hours, and I'm not trying to go too long. But this video highlights a lot of the different riding that new riders and experienced riders do. But I watched this video, and a lot of them were new. And one of these new riders had a Monster, and he tried to ride it in traffic. And the Monster did nothing wrong. He just panicked and he just dropped the wheel.
Yeah.
And then,
there's two things. This is going to sound kind of cruel, but I remember when I was young, I was working at this grocery store. And there's a dude used to roll in on this motorcycle, big touring bike. And he told me, kid, there's two types of riders that have gone down and riders that will go down. And I always remembered him saying that. And that's the same thing with EUCs. You're going to go down eventually. That's just part of the game.
But the thing is, if you're a new rider, dude, that's like essential to know, because now not only are you going to go down with a fancy wheel, you're going to go down and it's going to go down on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of funny. Go down. Wow, that's terrible. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, anyway, let's take a look at this video real quick, and I'll get back to your comments, guys, because I don't want this to go too long. But let's take a look at it, okay? Can you see the screen, Sensei Vegan?
Yeah, I'm looking right at my phone. Yep.
All right.
I got it.
Cool. All right.
Wow. control board.
Now this guy's not even going that fast.
Nah, he wasn't going that fast at all. Oh, I remember this one. This dude got tore up here. West Side Highway right there.
I feel it's important to keep repeating stuff like that, because I remember when I first came out riding, one of the most like popular videos I made was about the cutouts. So I feel like every time there's a new wheel, like especially like the Sherman, this type of stuff needs to be reinvigorated into the community, because
it does.
It's not something you want to experience new, because that's gonna warp your whole idea of what the world of EUC is about. What do you think?
I tell you, it was great. Yeah, no, it's 100%. Those are facts. Like I had mentioned earlier, like in the comments, the first time I rode New York City, my EUC was that Broadway bomb. I only been riding for like 2 months, so so I get down there.
This video, dude, that was like, wow,
dude. I get down there, I see EVX, I see Jesse Pike. You know, I'm looking around, you know, I see all the guys from YouTube, and I'm like, I thought it was going to be like a parade or something. You know, they're going to shut the streets down. I'm looking, I'm like, dude, they're not shutting the streets down. Then the alarm, then the horn goes off, and everyone just makes a mad dash to Broadway. And it was just like, I was like, yo, this stuff is real, man.
Did you feel pressured, though, as a new rider? Because I want to keep the focus on new riders. Were you pressured into doing that?
I wasn't pressured. I just had I thought it was just going to be like one big group ride. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, that's what I thought it was. So then as first couple blocks, I was like, yeah, this stuff is real. I better be careful. Because it was at one point, EVX had pulled up next to me. He's like, Sensei. Oh, dude, I had tunnel vision. I just saw 2 riders go down like 2 blocks behind me. I was like, nah, dude.
What do you mean? They crashed?
They hit the dirt. Wow. They hit the dirt. I was like, nah, I'm not making a highlight reel, man. So, but I stayed in my lane. I didn't, you know, I rode within my capability. But yeah, that was rough. I mean, I've ridden mountain bikes and rollerblades through the city, but riding EUC is just a different experience. So you can't get caught up in peer pressure. You have to remember what you can do and what you can't do, and just stay in your lane and just ride.
Stay in your lane, man. Stay in your lane, like for real. Like, so the one reason I wanted to bring these videos up, let me see if I could show one of them here. Like I said, I want to keep this under new riders. There's one video here where a rider would look like he was brand new to me, and the way he was going through traffic, it just didn't seem like he was ready for it. And I actually caught in the video that he was, hold on, it's this guy right here.
Yeah.
He experienced a wobble earlier. So if you watch the video, if you keep watching, right, you're gonna see that he's gonna look down at his wheel. And the reason he looked down at his wheel, in my assumption, if he's in this chat, you can call in. But he got spooked. I saw it. He got. First of all, the way he's riding right now, you can tell he's not ready for the road. Because he's look at his feet. He's not even, his knees are not even bent.
Nah, they're straight like a broomstick.
It's straight like a broomstick, and the way he stopped is not a good stop. Like, you have to control your wheels. I mean, hey, he's learning, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, he's trying to carve right now. And look, right there. You see that? Right there, he got a wobble. Look. Hold on. You're gonna see he got a wobble. And then when he got the wobble, he looked down at his wheel. Look. I don't know if you saw it, but I saw it. He looked down at his wheel, and then what he's gonna do, he's gonna keep looking, and he's gonna sit down. His knees are not bent.
Yeah.
And he's looking back, and he's not wildly experienced. He sits down, because that's the best way to get rid of wobbles, is by sitting down. If you experience a wobble and you have a seat, sit down. That's the best way. You're not going to experience a wobble sitting down. And let me see what part he falls in. But if you look, the wheel is a little too big for him. I mean, kudos to him for going in traffic. The guy's learning. But that looks like early in the morning to me. I would not recommend this guy ride like at 5 p.m.
You definitely want to get some experience before you start lane split, because stuff can go wrong real quick.
What the frick happened there?
Yeah.
What happened there? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You see what happened?
It looked like he got a little jumpy when that car looked like. To me, it looked like that he thought the SUV was going to cut over.
It looked.
If you look
like
at
that.
the angle of it, yeah,
But
and he kind of got scared.
When I play, am I echoing when I play and I talk? Do you hear it echoing?
Sounds fine to me.
Okay, so right here, right? Okay, so back there, and this is my assumption because I really paid attention to this guy. Back there, when he was further back, he experienced a wobble. So my guess is the reason he experienced that wobble is because his legs were getting tired. So then he sat down. That's my assessment. He sat down to relieve that fatigue in his leg. Now, because it's a massive wheel, that's a monster.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, that's a monster. So then he turns in traffic, and look closely what happens. He's tired. His leg is tired. He's not bent. He's still learning. So kudos to him for trying it in traffic. But look at the consequences of having a big wheel that you cannot master, that you haven't mastered yet. So right there, when he tries to get between those two cars, his leg's already tired. He's kaput. So what happens? It gives way, and he falls down. Look. Hold on. Look slowly. So look, he's trying to maneuver, right? And then you see what happened? I'm not sure if it's because he was tired or he just freaked out. To your point, it looked like he freaked out. Go on.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, man. He might have went in there a little bit too hot too.
He might have
too much. Yeah.
But if you look at this closely. Look at what's gonna happen to his foot. Okay, look, he could have sprained his foot, dude. Look at this. You see that?
Yeah.
He has no control. Oh, that looked bad.
Yeah,
that looked really bad.
Yeah.
But he didn't hit the cars, so that's cool. He didn't hit the cars. But I don't see anything in there that would cause him to freak out, though. No car is turning left. No car is turning right. I don't see any signals. I'm not sure why he freaked out. I really think it's because he got tired. What do you think?
I honestly, I don't know. Because at first I thought the car was turned. When you look at it now, it's stationary. It wasn't moving at all.
Yeah, it wasn't moving
it's
at all.
Stationary. It's stationary.
Let me see what some people are saying. Hey guys, chime in if you want to add your 2 cents. But this is, we all can learn from this. Can you see the comments? If you see a comment, let me know.
I don't see. Let me see if I can pull the chat up like this.
Eagle will stand out if it has enough. Let me start at the bottom because.
Yeah, I can't pull the chat up on.
Yeah, the guy said he hesitated. Yeah, he hesitated, but even when you hesitate, if you have experience riding, okay, enough experience, even as an intermediate rider, you don't fall like that. You know what I mean? That's that type of fall right there with an. Now remember, this is a monster. The S18. Let's look up the sizes again. Hold on. Let's look up the sizes because last time we messed that up. Remember?
Oh yeah. We were looking at the trolley handle, extended and retracted.
Yeah. Shout out to the guy in the comments. I don't remember what his name was, but I was going to bed and then he pointed out to me and I was like, oh shoot, well that sucks. Where is that chart? There we go. So let me share this chart with you guys real quick. Hold on. Share screen. So you understand what we're looking at here. This is the chart. So you have hold on. Okay, so this is the sizes. So I'm glad he put the monster in there because these wheels are pretty much monster territory. You know what I mean? So I'm really glad he put the monster in there. So I don't have to go back and forth. So now that we have the proper understanding of what we're reading, Sensei, let's see if we can do a good assessment here. So we have the monster at 26.8 inches high, right? The KS20 is taller still.
Yeah.
Now, I understand it's because of the suspension. So when you get into suspension, it's going to go down. But it's still taller.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you have to say about that? In terms of maneuverability, it's gonna look. Well, so look at, if you
it depends on the rider. Like for you could jump on either of those wheels and get used to it fairly quickly. You know what I mean? But
what do you mean as a new rider?
No. For you, you'll be okay. A new rider's going to have trouble.
Dude, even with me, when I had the Sherman, even with me, I had issues with that wheel in the beginning. It took me a whole day to really get. I mean, granted, when I got on it, I felt the power and I was able to ride once I got moving. But when I stopped at the light, I had to hop in order to stop the very first time I got on it.
Yeah, and think about that. You're experienced.
Yeah.
Think about a new rider getting on a wheel like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's going to be an issue. That's definitely going to be an issue.
Because that guy right there in this little thing is a demonstration, is a clear demonstration of, and he's probably not a brand new rider because he can ride clearly, but in terms of like being able to manhandle a wheel that's this size, so just for perspective, this monster is the KS20, guys.
Yeah, because I think the next wheel after that is the Hero. I think the Hero comes in right under that. Actually, the Hero might be taller.
Let me see.
It's either a little taller or just under that one. The S20, the Hero.
The Hero, right here. Yeah, the Hero is.
Was that 31?
It's 31. Dude, these are big wheels, dude.
They're huge. They're huge wheels.
They're huge wheels. I mean, I saw the comparison picture from EUC Vibes and I forgot who else it was. But if you look at the so far the wheels that are let me see. Am I making a mistake here? This is the Monster. What is that? Okay, that's the MSP. Okay. So if you look at the Abrams is the same as the Monster and it has no suspension.
Yeah, those are some big wheels.
They're big wheels, dude. Like I don't think we've fully grasped what's going on here.
We will soon. We will soon, man. Because they're Hafiz K had put some video of him riding a Commander on his Instagram.
I saw that, yeah. What did he say about it? Is there a video of him riding it?
Yeah, it shows it. I mean, it's just like a down view.
It's a down. It's not a real.
Yeah,
review?
Yeah. It's not a real review. It's not a real review yet.
Okay.
And then
but
EUC EUC upgrades. He has a video coming out soon with the Commander as well. But The
But
reviews are going to come.
can you talk about wobbles? Because the other day you did.
Oh yeah, yes.
Can you talk about that?
Okay. One thing when I was learning how to ride my Tesla, I was getting wobbles. And I remember Mike, he has the channel Is There Any Food? He put out one of the best videos. And after I watched his video on tire pressure, tire pressure and your foot positioning is one of the key factors, in my opinion anyway, when it comes to wobbles. When I first started, my feet used to be basically parallel. Then I start riding with a staggered stance. So I stand with my right foot a little bit forward and my left foot back. And I take my tire pressure. I think I ride my tire pressure about at 28 or 29 now. I used to ride at 26. I upped it a little bit. But I noticed a lot of riders, their tire pressure is entirely too high.
Too high, yeah.
And way too high. It's just like putting too much air in a basketball, and when you try to dribble it, it bounces all over the place.
Exactly. That's what it is. You're right. And
so when you go ahead. So when you hit a bump, your wheel is constantly rebounding. Now that's okay if you hit one bump, but what happens is they'll hit another bump and the wheel it just upsets the wheel even more. Then they go out of control and they go down because they're just skipping across the ground. That's why tire pressure is very important. And I see a lot of riders, it's just way too high. It's way too high.
And especially for your weight, right? Because when I got the MSP from Chooch, dude, I'm not sure if he deflated the tire or not, but that tire was flat. He's a light guy. I think at the time he was weighing 125 pounds. So that's wild. I weigh like 210 pounds with gear. So when I got that thing, the rim was literally touching the ground. I mean, the floor.
Yeah.
So I'm like, holy smoke. So I had to pump that thing up. So I pumped it up to like 40 PSI, 40 something, the max PSI. And I couldn't ride the wheel. I tried to make a turn and that thing almost threw me off, dude.
Dude, yeah. I wrecked on my Tesla like that. I didn't check the PSI. I took it out the box and I was like, what's going on, man? I can't ride this thing. The tire pressure was too high. It was way too high. I had to lower it. Yeah.
So the easiest way for you to induce a wobble is to increase your tire pressure. If you want a wobble, increase your tire pressure and ride. Because what happens is you have less contact with the road. And like Sensei said, you're gonna have a lot of reverb. That's really what it is. You're gonna have a lot of reverb. You hit once and it's gonna be like,
yeah, you're dribbling across the ground. Speed dribbling across the ground.
Now with suspension, that might not matter. What do you think? You rode the S18.
Mm-hmm. It was, I don't know, maybe because I have more experience now. It was just smooth, much smoother than my RS. I said that in my video. It was much smoother than my RS. My RS, man, if you're not riding, well, because you have an MSP. If you're not riding with your knees bent, especially on these Jersey roads, you are going down, dude. You're going to go down. But the S18 definitely, it knocks the edge. It just knocks the edge off when you're riding. It's smooth.
Let me see what this guy is saying. He said, I had a eureka moment on my Sherm. I realized that wedging my legs into the wheel to try and force a turn doesn't help. That is true. In fact, it helps less. I don't know. I see a lot of people grabbing their wheels. I don't know. I never understood that, but everyone has a different concept. I just feel like if your legs are apart a little bit, you have that wiggle room to push it. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I don't know. How do you turn?
I do. No, I understand. See, the crazy thing with me was I'm not just saying this because I'm on your channel. I watched Tashawn Foy. I learned how to ride watching your videos, watched most of your stuff, and I watched a lot of Nate's videos. Those are like the first two channels. And then Chooch, I saw Chooch.
Yes,
that's the one that kind of. Yeah, that's the one that kind of when he was holding the coffee. That's the one I said I got to get a wheel. Yeah. So my style is very hybrided, but I liked the way you use your foot like a gas pedal.
Yes,
I like that because you're not putting all your weight over the wheel.
That was my main fear. That was my main fear was crashing, dude. Because here's the thing, right? And back to the topic. All of these wheels, as heavy as they are, they're going to require you to give more than you need to give it in order to go. For example, if you more than you're used to with any smaller wheel, with the Sherman, for example, 77 pounds. I forgot what the the specs was in terms of what. But that was a very big wheel, and I had to literally. I felt like my method of leaning forward didn't work because it was so heavy, and even though it had a big motor, the torque just wasn't there. It just wasn't there. I'm like, what the frick is wrong with this wheel? It's not going. But once I started to move, so what I ended up doing was leaning forward. I actually had in the beginning, I had to go against what I'm used to and lean forward to get this thing to go. And until I got used to it, then I reverted back to what I used to do. But even then, I still had to force it forward. This is why I started tilting back the pedals like 3 degrees so that it compensates for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Now, I think you had said something about like a wider stance. For me, my stance is wide, and I kind of sort of I relate that to almost like boxing, or even in combat sports. Period. If you have a wider stance, you're going to be more stable. If your stance is narrow, like if you're standing with your feet together, someone can push you over.
Right.
Does that make sense of what I'm saying? Yeah. So it seems like when your stance is a little bit wider and you have your knees bent, you have more stability. At least that's how I feel. That's how I feel more comfortable on the wheel like that. I can't ride with my legs too close in onto the wheel. My stance is wide.
Now the thing is, Mr. Brewer, he's saying I've seen people say taller wheels are easier to turn because you can use your legs more.
Yeah, I heard that too. You can lay your leg on a wheel, but I tell you what, Mr. I don't know if you've seen this video. It was by New York. Was it New York Rider? No, not New York Rider. Ronin Rider. He actually did an interview with Chris Yem, and he was on a Sherman, and he was showing how he was riding, and he was like up on his toes, and you could see his legs were out from the wheel, but it was just fluid how he was moving. Again, it kind of reminded me of
how he rides. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and he wasn't all up on the wheel. He was saying you want that room so you can move. You know, it doesn't leave you restricted.
Right.
So I guess it depends on what style you're comfortable with. Like we all ride different. Mine's hybrid.
I'm just saying, like these new wheels are gonna give I don't know, people who are not that familiar. Look, people are gonna do whatever they want, but expect a fall with a heavy wheel. That's all. And if you're in traffic, expect very little acceleration, at least in the beginning, because of the weight. And expect less maneuverability because of the weight as well. Now, to answer that question with taller wheels, when I rode the 16X, because I would consider the 16X a tall wheel. It's tall, the way it's designed. And I actually experienced wobbles on that wheel.
Or even XT, what's the other one? 18XL. That's a tall wheel.
That's a tall wheel, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very tall wheel.
So wobbles is another thing you have to worry about with these new wheels. The only wheel I can say that probably will not, you will not experience a lot of wobbles is probably the Abrams. I'm sorry, not the Abrams, the Commander, because it's not that tall. It's the shortest one of all besides the Sherman. Because if you look, the Sherman was about the same height, and I never experienced a single wobble on that wheel for many reasons, but the primary reason is because of the way the tire was designed. And if you look at the Commander, it looks like it has a similar type tire, but I never experienced a single wobble on that wheel. What about you in your experience?
I didn't wobble on the Sherman at all. That thing is planted to the ground. And it seems like the faster you start going on it, it just sinks down into its stance like a sumo wrestler, dude. I was so surprised. I couldn't believe it. I wanted to open it up more, but it was just too many people on the path. So I wanted to be safe, but it's a very solid.
Was it your first time riding that wheel?
I rode it one other time. Actually, Tommy let me ride his at the indoor rally. Mm-hmm. And I did a few laps around the parking lot, and then he let me ride his RS. And then I liked the stance of the RS better at the time. And then I actually got to do a few miles when I went to the park last week, and I was amazed.
I was couldn't believe that there was no matter how many times I tried to induce or create a situation or a scenario where it would wobble, it just wouldn't do it.
It wants to ride straight. The wheel, it wants to ride straight. It's perfectly balanced. It's
perfectly balanced, man.
Yeah, it wants to ride straight.
That's why I think the only wheel on this roster, on this picture here, that will not even give you any problems is the Commander because of its height. And it looks like it's a little bit wider than the Sherman, but the height is really what's gonna give it the edge because it's balanced. The motors, the board is on the top. It's basically a Sherman. You know what I mean? It's basically a copy of the Sherman.
Well, one other thing too to consider though, the higher your pedals are, you have a higher center of gravity. So you can get wobbles on it. The lower your pedals are, the more
You're right. Hold on. But look, to your point, and look at this. The Commander is 6.3 inches pedal height, and the Sherman is 6.7. So I believe the lower.
So say that one more time. So that say that one more time. What you just said.
The Commander's pedal height is 6.3 inches, and the Sherman is 6.7.
The Sherman's pedals are. Look at that! I was surprised because the Commander, when you look at it, excuse me, it looks higher.
It looks higher, yeah.
It looks higher. Wow. Okay. So
it's not by much, but it matters.
It does. It does. It really, really does. That's why I wanted you. I know you've put thousands of miles on your Tesla. I want you to ride my Tesla because I raised the pedals on it and put a wider tire on it.
We got someone riding. We got someone riding right now. Let's see what he has to say. Who is this person?
Hey, what's up? It's me, UC. I'm not EUC. What's up, guys? Woo!
Hey, be careful, man. Please be careful. What do you have to say? Because you're riding right now. What are you riding?
Yeah, I'm riding my Sherman. And what I wanted to say is you were talking about leaning, how to take turns.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a YouTube channel called Fortnine, Fortene. The host is a Canadian who's funny as frack. I mean, this guy's got a PhD in physics, and he talks about how to take turns in a motorcycle. Do you lean in? Do you turn out?
I saw that.
Yeah. And what I do when I turn, I'm going to pull over here real quick to show you. When I turn, if I'm turning left, my stance, I too have a staggered stance. I'll keep my wheel turned and keep my knee out going left into the turn. I turn in like that, you know? I don't know if you can see that, but
yeah, I can see it. I saw a lot of people doing that.
Yeah,
that's
the
almost
reason
like
I do that,
MotoGP style.
Yeah, the reason I do that is because, and I crouch. When you take a turn, if you crouch, you lower your center of gravity, which allows you to maintain speed. So you slow down just like a few miles an hour, put your knee out and turn, and that knee changes your center of gravity and shifts it. If you're turning left and you hold your left knee out, it turns your center of gravity to the left a little bit, allowing you to turn a lot easier using gravity. Like if you're going around Saturn, you use Saturn's gravity to make you go faster. It's the same thing. You lean your leg out and you actually go faster into the turn, and then you slowly stand up and pull your knee in, and you're good to go. You've made your turn.
Interesting. That's going to have to take a lot of practice, but that's interesting. Awesome. Basically, you're saying into the turn, go slow, right?
Yeah. You slow down just a little bit, but you don't have to, like, if you're going 30 and you want to make a turn, you don't have to slow down to 10. You can slow down to about 20, lean your leg out and duck. And when you duck and lean that leg out, you use your speed to turn you left. And you can maintain that. But like you said, you can't have a completely inflated tire, else you're really going to feel those impacts.
Right. Well, hey, let me ask you a question. We were talking about how it's the Sherman is very planted. I feel like the Commander is going to be as planted or more planted than the Sherman. What do you think about that?
Yeah. From what I've been looking at with the specs, I'm really digging the Sherman. I've been riding since summer of 2017. I broke my leg skiing, and I missed all of 2016, and I was looking for a rehab. And I found this little dinky, it was about the size of an M10-3, and I thought, well, that's kind of neat. I'll try that. And I've been riding ever since. But yeah, I think the Commander is going to be a step up from the Sherman. Honestly, I mean, why would it not be? The Sherman.
So too.
Yeah, the Sherman's been out for already over a year now. Well, almost a year now. So anything that comes out after the Sherman is going to be a little bit better. You know, iPhone 8 Pro came out 6 months after the iPhone 8, and it was just a little bit better. And that's what I think the Commander is. Unfortunately for veteran, or fortunately, no one can buy a Sherman anymore. So at this stage of the game, it's not about the Sherman. And you can't really compare things with the Sherman anymore. The only reason we do is because that's the one we can all ride, right?
Yeah. Have you experienced the wobble on your Sherman yet?
Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted to tell you. No, not on the Sherman. But here's
that's what I thought.
Yeah. Here's what I've learned. Like Sensei Vegan, what's up, brother? Like Sensei Vegan pointed out from Mike's channel. It's all about is there any food? Yes, tire pressure does matter. And one thing that I found, like, but one thing I found is when I get a wobble, start carving. Immediately start carving, you will shift because you wobble because you don't know, you can't be in the middle, and you want to go left, right. It could even be that your legs are tired or cold or whatever, and the wheel doesn't know what you want because your knees are shaking. So if you throw it left or you throw it right, the wheel goes, oh, you want to go that way, okay, and it just carves itself out.
Yeah, dude, I remember Law saying that. Yep, Law said the same exact thing. You get a wobble, carve your way out of it. I remember him saying that too, yeah. And the crazy part is now we ride, and sometimes we do those things and we don't even realize what we're doing now. You know, I don't even realize, you can
it's like driving.
You don't even realize it.
Cool.
That's so true.
Thanks for chiming in, man. What wheel do you plan on getting next?
I'm saving up for the Eagle.
Goodness gracious, man. Everybody.
Here's why. And it was brought up earlier in the chat when I asked the question, why is everybody wanting the S20 and not the Hero or the Commander and other things? Price.
Naturally.
Yeah.
If the Hero was $3,400, I might probably get the Hero.
Do you typically ride off-roading or on-road? Do you think you would use that suspension wheel for on-road mostly or off-roading?
Well, I literally, I don't think I have roads around here. All I have is off-roading with some asphalt on it. Because where I live, there's roots. It gets freezing cold and then scalding hot. So there's cracks everywhere. Everywhere I ride, it's just, here, I'll just show you real quick. See, it's just cracks. There's a little bit of soft road from time to time. I just came off of a road that was full of cracks. It's just cracks. And this is the smoothest road that I have around in here. and see, like all of this stuff right around here, I feel all of it on my knees. There are some places around here where I live where the whole thing is just knobby roots, cracks, bumps, and so everywhere I ride, I was thinking about, if I want suspension, do I get the V11 or the S18? And I thought V11 until somebody pointed out,
I really hope nothing happened.
Nah, I think that signal just went out for us.
Okay. Well,
there you go.
There he is.
I was like, man, I hope you didn't go through one of those cracks.
Well, here, let me show you. This is a common road that I have around here. If let's see if I can get it right here. Yeah. All right. This is.
Where are you calling from?
Mount Shasta, California, Northern California.
Oh, yeah, Northern Cal. Okay.
Whoa, this looks bad, bro.
These are my roads.
Like Jersey roads.
Yeah.
That looks really bad. Holy smokes.
And that's what it's like all over the place around here. So I off-road when I'm on road.
That's what I even said. A lot of people are going to use the S20 for street riding. It's just going to knock the edge off of street riding.
I was just going to ask you, what's your average speed you ride at?
I'm working on getting as fast as I can, but on roads like these, I don't trust it. Plus with the wind speed, you know, so I usually ride about, now my fastest is around 35.
So yeah, the KS20 is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
hey, thanks,
good.
man. Thanks for chiming in. Please be safe out there.
Yeah, be safe out there,
always.
bro.
Hey, let me real quick. Let me ask you here. What do you think of this Sherman? Like, I don't know if you can see it really well, but I spray painted it like a little construction site or a bee.
It looks like the caution tape.
That's right. Yeah, it looks like the caution.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's cool.
All right, love you guys. Have fun. Cheers.
All right, be safe, bro.
Be safe.
All right.